right, let's begin the show. And there are no risk-free investments. An investor, before deciding on the investment instrument, should analyze the risk involved in a particular investment instrument, but also keep in mind their risk appetite. So, how is your risk appetite or your risk profiling change? How does it change, or how dependent it is as and when you grow in age? Be it a 30-year-old risk profile, 40-year or a 50-year. What is the kind of risk that differs as per age groups? Let's understand all of this. I have Mrin Agarwal, a founder, director of FinSafe with me. Mrin, good evening. Welcome to the show. So usually, we discuss about what kind of financial portfolio one should be having at these particular ages. But then today we are just going to focus on the risk profiling of these kind of investor, because, as you grow in your life, in not only terms of age, but then, in terms of your income, your lifestyle gets better. A lot of thing around you in terms of your financial planning also keeps changing. Till a certain age you have financial responsibilities on you, and after a certain age it just goes away. You're done with it. You have achieved maximum goals. So when you are a person who has a financial portfolio, what kind of risk profiling should be done, and what kind of risk profiling changes as per age? So that's the main question and the topic for today. But then before that, let's just understand what exactly is investor risk profile. Mrin, let's start with that.
All right. So good evening, Kavita, and it's lovely to be here today. Now, every investor has a risk profile depending upon what is the sort of risk that they want to take. So you have conservative, you have moderate, you have aggressive. Broadly, these are the three categories. And someone who's aggressive means that, they want their money to grow and they're willing to take a lot of risk to get their money grow. Whereas someone who's conservative means that they don't want to take risk and they're really want a very stable sort of a return in their portfolio. So, these are typically the three different types of risk profiles. And then, of course, you can further bring it down to say, okay, moderately conservative or moderately aggressive as well. But yes, these are the three main ones, basically.
So, Mrin, let's talk as per age, okay? Let's consider an investor who's 30 years old. Their risk appetite, their risk profiling would differ from a 20-year-old and a 40-year-old. Ideally, how much risk can a 30-year-old investor take? 30 to 40, if that's a bracket, if I want to consider.
All right. So you see there are different types of risk. There's market risk, which is basically the markets could go up or down. There's, of course, credit risk, which is more there in bonds, which means that they could be a default. And then there are other risks, even biases are a risk, okay? So when we look at a 30-year-old, right, or somebody in their 30s, certainly they can take more risk because they have a lot of years ahead of them. It is the accumulation phase where one is basically starting to accumulate assets and has a long term to invest. And at this age group, most people would have children's education goals to fulfill. Maybe they've just started a family, and of course, so children's education is a goal. Of course, saving for retirement is a goal that everybody has at any age in their life. And of course, at this age, since you're young, you can actually take an aggressive stance and take risk. So by taking risk, we mean putting it into an instrument where there could be volatility, for example, equities, right? So again, now within equities, you have mid cap, small cap, large cap. And I would say that somebody who's in 30s today, I would say get aggressive, because honestly, if you look at the numbers, so for example, if I have 50,000 rupees to invest for the next 25 years, and I'm just putting it in a safe instrument, and I'm maybe, let's say, buying some insurance policies or something, earning a 5-6% return, versus putting it in equities, which number one, beat inflation, and secondly, grow well over a long period of time, you could actually have 2x more, right? And that's the reason why I say that it's really important you have time on your side. And it's really important that you take a good amount of risk, be an aggressive risk taker, which means that when you're saving for retirement, look at equities, look at the NPS active equity. Again, while we are talking about taking risk, the other risk that I would actually caution people in 30s is, this whole FOMO factor, because today there's a lot of FOMO that people have, that their friend or their colleague or somebody whom they know is making much more money and making it much faster than them in various get rich quick schemes, right? So take risk, but take it in the right instrument, which is equities. publicly traded, regulated, lot of information available. And I would say, you could even go up to like 70% equities at this stage of your life.
Let's break this down further in terms of market cap allocation. So, since they can go aggressive, you mean more exposure in mid cap, small cap, or it's better to be very well diversified even over there?
I think more exposure in mid cap and small cap.
All right. Let's move on to our next age group, which is 40 years old. Now, this is the age where you can see your financial goals almost getting done with. Maybe a lot of people might be still be having their home loan. Few years left for maybe pay off the child education loan, or maybe that particular goal is just coming up. How do you navigate the risk factor over here? Because you also have to start thinking about your retirement.
So actually, a lot really depends upon what you've done in your 30s, right? So if you've been aggressive, if you've been saving a lot from your take home and you've been investing aggressively, then you know what, you can actually afford to say that I'll start reducing my risk. But I can tell you that in most of the cases, people have a lot of catching up to do because they have not invested good amounts and they have also not invested aggressively, which means they have chosen safer instrument for a larger portion of their money, right? And so, if you have a lot of catching up to do, right? So I'll give you a small example. Let's say you have a 10-year-old child and you have 8 years to go for your child education goal. Now, for example, let's say you're looking at saving 50 lakh rupees for the higher education, which is 8 years down the line. At a 10% return, you need to be investing 55,000. I can tell you, Kavita, most people would not be even investing 25,000 rupees, right? So now when you're in the situation where you're saving a very small amount, you have two options. Either you increase the amount, which is not very easy to do because this is also the age where you have a lot of expenses, or you basically increase the risk, right? So I would still say that in 40s, you can maintain 50% into equities, and you should do it because today, given the value of the goals and the inflation on the goals, equity is the only instrument that's going to help you basically achieve it. Again, I would say that this is a phase where when people want to play catch up, they try to look at high yielding debt instruments, but anything that's giving you 10 to 15% return, high yielding instrument like P2P or NCDs also comes with a lot of default risk, right? So again, I would say that, you need to take the risk, but take it in something that's more manageable, because when you take credit risk, it also comes with concentration risk as well. And you're putting a lot of your capital at risk out there. So I would say go with a 50-50, especially if you have to catch up on your investments.
So, as you pointed out in the beginning only that, what will be your risk profile depends on what kind of investment you did in your 30s. What about someone who's just beginning this investment journey?
Oh, they have to go really aggressive because again, the amount of money that you have to invest is going to be limited. And so the only option that you really have is to take that aggressive stance and long-term stance. So both of the things they have to take care of.
In terms of risk, what will be the biggest risk for a 40-year-old if starting to invest at this age?
The biggest risk is going to be that they may not be able to achieve their financial goals, and they might get into a lot of loans, which is what we do see these days, right? So people taking education loan, home loan, and everything. So most of your salary is just going towards EMIs, which means that it's further impacting your retirement goal.
What about those people, Rin, who are in their mid-40s maybe and also have their goal coming up in a few years? Now, what kind of risk profiling and investment safety actions that they need to implement?
Well, let's say we quantify this few years as 5 years, then certainly you can take some exposure into a balance fund. But if it's less than that, like if it's less than 4 years, then of course you have to be in safer instruments. You have to be in debt funds or in fixed deposits. And you really don't have a choice, unfortunately, that's what it is. One of the things that I do tell people often is that as Indians, we do hold a lot of passive assets in terms of gold, in terms of real estate. And I do tell people that, if it really comes to that, you might really want to look at utilizing these passive assets, for some of these goals, if you have not been able to save enough for it, right? So, but yes, from a risk perspective, if you have 5 years, you can look at taking some equity exposure through a balance fund.
Next age group is 50. Now you have your retirement looking at you, and if at all you've not planned for it, then it's going to be very tough. What do you say?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. You're going to have to be dependent on someone else. Unfortunately, some years back, there was a RBI household survey, which actually showed that people tend to increase their loans as they go towards retirement. And here we're talking about actually reducing risk. So certainly when you are in 50s, again, everything depends upon what you did in the last 20, 25 years. Did you save up enough? And if you have saved up enough, then you can actually take you can start reducing the risk allocation, and you can say that now I really just want to conserve my capital. So you can take that sort of an attitude as well. One of the things that I find a lot, Kavita, is that this is the age where people really get into, again, looking at instruments that are giving them a high return and a high fixed return. So again, one of the risks, so, one part is really about the risks that you take in equities, but even with the risk that you take on debt, right? And we really don't talk about risk on debt as much as we talk about risk on equities, right? But when you look at the risk that people take on debt today, I think it's really high. So you have people buying NCDs of, let's say, NCDs which are rated A and below. These come with default risk. They come with liquidity risk because it's not easy for you to take your money out. And number three, they come with a concentration risk because you're allocating a large part of your capital to it to get that return, right? So, and a lot of this happens because people become very loss averse, right? So again, risk is not like everybody only equates risk to investing in equities, but risk can be from your own actions, your biases, and certainly, of course, there's risk in investing in debt instruments as well.
Last age group, 60. What's the risk profiling for them?
Well, I would say that, you should still have maybe 25% in equities. I don't recommend doing 100% debt. And the reason that you still need to have 25% in equities is because, again, in more cases than not, you will have a shortfall in terms of your corpus, in terms of what you can spend and stuff like that. So having a little bit of money into equities is always helpful. And you could always follow a bucket strategy where you bucket your monies into three parts: things that you need in the next 2 to 3 years, and things that you don't need in the next 5 years certainly can get into more equity like investments.
All right, so this was a risk profiling that we tried helping our viewers with today. Thank you so much, Mrind, for being on the show and helping our viewers. Thanks.